Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day today. This is going to be another little installment of my favorite GAC characters. I've done ones in the past, going over some of my favorite ones, and really mostly about teams. However, today's video, I want to go over the top 10 must-have GAC characters, tunes, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna kind of just go straight into it because this is going to be a top 10 list. It's not going to be short and sweet. It's going to be a little bit more lengthy. So there's really no order for these. I feel like you should really always have these 10. These 10 will help you tremendously. So we're going to get started off here today with Nest. This is a very simple and easy one. We're not going too much into depth on the Zetas or the gear, just about how she can work Nest and her solo ability versus these teams in your GAC, versus Ewoks, versus buff heavy teams, Rogue One. You can, even if you do happen to have, a really high relic Nest, you can beat up on some Padmes. Pretty much what I'm trying to get here is this can open up you to use Nest and keep a different team either for offense or defense, which is a huge deal in GAC. So Nest is on our first list. Like I said, there's no apparent order here, so she's the first one we're going to chat about. A beautiful character. I would highly recommend you guys getting her. The next one here is just Watt. This one's not going to be as easy to acquire for most of you guys out there. If you guys are in a guild that is starting off getting Watt shards, keep at it. This guy is so good. You're going to get very high banner wins with Watt. Depending on, it really doesn't depend on who you're using him with. You're always going to get some good high banners because of his tech here. If you haven't known about Watt, he recovers, or rather, he gives out protection because of his tech on his unique. So you get more protection. On the shield generator, you get even more TM with the weapon tech, and you get some more HP and protection with the med pack. And on top of that, he has a revive with the Separatists and the dark side droid allies, and also he gives out more protection up. So like the banners there in the GAC type of in a game mode there, you're gonna get really good banners. So this guy is pretty much in my opinion a must-have, as well as the Nest. So continuing on, the next one here, I was kind of shooting for a different kind of take on this video because I don't want to chat about these must-have leaderships. I want to kind of spread it out to more usability, more versatility. So with that in mind, my next one here is going to be Shakti. Shakti is a very versatile. She is a Jedi and she's a Galactic Republic. So I'm actually going to throw up, while this is going here, I'm going to throw up some different battles. This one in particular versus, me and my CLS team versus a Shakti lead. Not a gas lead, no Anakin Skywalker, no General Anakin Skywalker in that team. I was struggling very much so versus this team. This can be not just used on defense, but also on offense if you want to use her on offense. If you do not have your new, shiny, brand new General Anakin Skywalker from that new event, you can still pull off a very strong defensive team with Shakti and the 501st clones. Just what these guys get with the leadership is insane. You get more speed, you get the ability to recover HP and protection, and you have more max HP, max protection, and more offense. Guys, this, honestly, I'm going to say it right here. When it comes to GAC, if you're, in my case, or rather, in my position, I'm in Div 1. If you're in my position and you would rather, save gas for a different team, maybe you are able to sacrifice him, use him somewhere else, and you still are left with your whole clone team, I would honestly say, at least in my experiences, that this team, Shakti, versus my CLS team, that counter makes this way more tough. I think Shakti is one to look into because of the capabilities of the clones, being able to have way more protection and HP to have to burn through, and also on her unique. Clone, or whenever Shakti or clone gets hit, she gains a lot of TM, 20%, and also whenever they are hit, they get retribution, which is a counter. So honestly, I would say most likely though, in just the CLS versus this team, it's going to be a little more tough than the gas, but maybe Padme can still take this out. But I would still say this is a very good team, not just defensively but on offense, because of her special here with recovering HP and protection, and also her cleanse. You can use this, like I said, in the clones. You can use her with Jedi Revan lead. You can use her in Bastila lead. I like using her under Bastila lead because I can take out some more Karth teams, and she's great in that department. And also under Padme, she is great. She is one of the most must-have characters in this game, I would say, especially for GAC. So she is just, I mean, I can't get enough of Shakti. I just love her. Her versatility in this game is insane. So that's her. The next one here I'm going to go after is Rex. Very, very similar to just that of Shakti, but I like Rex because he has a pretty decently and dang good leadership still. Since he got his rework and the whole 501st got their rework a while ago, this guy is still proven to be a very, very good team. And when I'm thinking about people using him, probably not going to use him in top tier, you know, Div 2, Div 1, but if you guys are a bit lower than that, and you don't have your whole clones built up, maybe you want to use a different type of team there, maybe defensively or whatever, you can still use this guy as a leadership because you get a lot more turn meter gain whenever you are critically hit or you suffer, where is it? Actually, no, it's just whenever you suffer a critical hit. It's kind of weird they say suffer. Why wouldn't it just say whenever you get hit by a critical hit, whatever. But you get a lot of TM there, which I'm pretty much trying to say here. And then also on top of that, he gives out a lot of TM on his special form up. So pretty much this is a very, very high TM oriented team. And also he has an Annihilate. I mean, what else do you want in this guy? So I mean, this is probably for you guys down there, lower divisions. They don't have all of these clones built up. You can still use your Rex and use other guys built up around him and still pull off some really, really good high banner wins, I would say so. And if you don't want to use them on offense oriented, you can still use them on defense and, you know, get some pretty decently strong defenses going there and some okay holds. So I feel like Rex is very, very still reliable, and he's a great guy to have still in today's game. I just can't get enough of him either. So continuing on here, I'm going to just chat about some pretty common ones. Grand Admiral Thrawn is very, very must-have in GAC because he has a fracture which can time out somebody, and he has a TM swap with more protection recovery. So not much more you guys want here in a character, honestly. For GAC, he is Empire, and he can do a lot for, you know, in that faction, but outside of that faction, you can recover a lot more banners. Like, I've used him in the past with my commander Luke Skywalker and Rebels team. I've used him, you know, in other various teams, like the Rex team we were just mentioning earlier. With that leadership, I've been able to toss him in and get some good banners as well. But this guy's a must-have because of this ability here. I mean, a couple of his abilities. You have a TM swap, you recover 40% protection, and you dispel their debuffs. And on the fracture, you kind of put him on timeout for a good, decently part of the turns and the battle and how that all goes down. I mean, it's great to have. Being able to use this, I've seen people counter gases with this. I've been able to see people, you know, I mean, just use him on offense or defense, wherever it may be. Personally, what I like to use with my Thrawn is use him on offense, keep him kind of as a if everything goes down and I need somebody to help, or if I want to, you know, I'm able to actually save him because there's not like crazy much of defenses. I can actually use him in that kind of team and get even more banners. So I mean, this guy, if you want to get a little bit more banners, go for him. And I would say that for most of these people in this list, these are really, really not just centered for these top end players, but these are really, really centered towards these newer or mid game players. So Thrawn is going to be awesome for really anybody and everybody, so he's great. The next one up here on the list I'm going to go after is Threepio. So Threepio here, I mean, he's so versatile, guys. You look at these tags. I mean, he's Droid, he's Galactic Republic, he's Rebel, and he's Resistance. Him and R2, I would say, are very, very good, but the reason why I don't want to have R2 on this list is because I feel like Threepio can get way more uses in a GAC format more than R2 does. More than likely, for me at least, in my Div 1 JCs, I don't really get that much use out of R2. It might be in like a JTR team, but I don't always use JTR because of what the guy might set and what I might keep. So I like Threepio because he is great with Padme. He can counter Darth Revan's and he can counter gases. I like him with CLS to counter, like I just said, gases and also even Darth Revan's. And like I just mentioned earlier with R2 and in Threepio, you can use him under JTR as well. So the uses here and the versatility is so insane. You have a call to assist. You have somebody who can apply pretty much buff immunity and, you know, dazes with his confuse, and being able to reset the cooldowns of all your allies once you hit 3 stacks of translation. And then for the intermediary, you have even more defense penetration, and I think, where is it? Oh man. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's the same one. Intermediary, you whenever you gain a non-unique non-protection buff, you get more protection up. So that's really great in the Padme team. So, I mean, honestly, I cannot get enough of this guy. I think he's honestly a great Gear 13 because of how much uses you're going to be getting out of him. And especially now with this new Galactic Legend Rey, I mean, I can see some really good potential here. And if you don't want to use him, and he's not really great with her, you can still use her, or use him rather, with, you know, these other same teams I was just mentioning. So he's a great one, a must-have in my opinion. So, continuing on, I'm going to go and chat about this lovely lady here, Bastila Shan Fallen. She is, right here, a Sith in a Sith Empire. No Empire, but she's a Sith, and that's pretty dang huge because using her in some other teams can do great things for you. So, few uses I like using her with. I'm not sure if you guys like to use her with in my various uses, my examples, but my examples I like using her with is with EP lead, Emperor Palpatine lead. I like using her sometimes with my Darth Revans, and also, like I said with Rex lead earlier, I've been able to use and pull off some pretty decently good wins with her in there. And the fears. The reason why I think that she's so great and why she's on this list is because of her fear and being able to, you know, pretty much just stop a person in their tracks. Missing turns, inflicting a bunch of debuffs is so critical, and even more so in the Emperor Palpatine team. Being able to get all that extra crazy TM, she can cycle her turn back to another fear very, very quickly. 3-turn cooldown is not that much, and with that leadership in mind, you can get so much extra TM to the point where you can just keep on cycling turns back to back to back, and just getting so much extra turn meter. So I feel like, yeah, if you wanted to use her in EP, that's a great use. But there's still other teams out of that team for offense you can still use her with, you know, like the Shakti, or I mean rather the Rex and whatnot. Another reason why I kind of like her is, hang on, where is it? I think it's for this 4 spawn. I think it's right here. I think it's you do recover some more protection, which is very, very nice. If he's in leader, if Darth Revan is in the leader slot at least, if you have her and Darth Revan, you get some more protection. But really, the big thing here is just the fear. I mean, the fear is so very critical in your GACs that I would love if everybody could at least get her unlocked, because she is just so dang good. She can pull off a lot more wins than you guys might think on offense. You don't have to just limit her to the Darth Revan teams. You can actually use her somewhere else. So that's her. Next one I'm going to say is a kind of another Sith, is Darth Nihilus. He is just Sith. That's all he is for the tag. He's only Sith. But you have an Annihilate, which is a one-shot kill. If you can get this off very, very quickly in a GAC, you can pretty much just stop one of their biggest threats. And then with that, if you didn't know, on his Annihilate, he gains max health equal to the target's max health. So you can just kind of stack and stack and stack crazy amounts of HP on your guy. And if you do want to use the whole triumvirate with Darth Sion, Darth Nihilus, and Darth Traya, those three, the unique here, whenever one of those two other guys get debuffed, inflicted with a debuff, he gains 10% turn meter and 30% max health stacking. That is pretty dang huge. Those guys are insane. I mean, you can, if you wanted to, if you had such a good and highly built up Darth Revan and Darth Traya, you can just use those two versus, you know, a Geos team or another lower type of tier team, and then you can actually pull off Nihilus and use him somewhere else, which is useful to the max. I mean, this guy, you know, Sith, Empire, anything with debuffs and anything with, you know, a very, very annoyingly tanky character. Like, for example, if you happen to see a Bastila team on defense and you have to go through all these people who don't do as much damage, but they are very tanky, and you just can't get through them that easy enough, you can toss this guy in and you just get crazy amounts of HP from the Annihilate, and you have a buff dispel on basic too. I mean, it's insane, and the ability increases. So this guy, I feel like he's just so useful. I mean, I've always gotten a use out of him in every single GAC since the time I can, you know, start playing GAC from all the way back then, like a year ago. He's just so dang good, guys. So I cannot recommend him enough. The next couple ones I want to chat about before I hop off for today, guys, is going to be Nute Gunray. So yeah, this guy is pretty dang good just in the leadership. This guy I would honestly relate to one we had recently in our list is Rex. This guy, I would say, is more for a defensive-oriented GAC guy because of how many people you can stack behind him in the leadership. So the leadership here is not a Zeta. It is very, very nice. The only Zeta here is on his unique, which I would recommend getting because if you have more Separatists, whenever they're inflicting a debuff, you're getting so much extra damage output. But The leadership here is you have more speed and potency with each enemy with extortion. That's only for separatists though. But that alone, with just him being in the leadership, is so crucial for him to keep on spamming his extortion and doing a lot more base HP attacks to the enemies. And he also has Dispel and an ability increase. So if you were to look into a very, very sneaky defensive team for GAC, I think Nute Gunray should be on the top of that list, because you do not need to have an entire separatist team for that entire team to work. You can actually just toss, Nute, maybe another separatist, maybe two, and a couple tanks or something like that, and it will get some pretty decent holds. This guy is one I would really look into for people who are high divisions or low divisions. A lot of these people in this list, like I said before, are very spread across the entire board for everybody in this game. So this guy is very, very great. I would highly recommend this guy. I mean, he's just so dang good, guys. So that might be it for this list. I'm gonna check and see if I missed out on anybody here, and I'll be right back. I knew I forgot somebody, man. Oh my gosh, how could I forget this guy? Okay, so last guy on this list is going to be Chewbacca, the OG Chewbacca. This guy, he's great for a very, very few different reasons. The main reason is because he can counter some meta teams with the CLS and Friends and Han and all those guys. But the biggest reason is because he can recover and give out more protection HP with the Loyal Friend unique. So this is on a Zeta. This is a Zeta unique. Whenever Chewbacca deals damage to an enemy, Chewbacca and all guarded allies recover 3% HP protection. That might not sound like a whole lot, but with all the assists happening, if you were to use him, like I said earlier, with Threepio, getting a lot more assists happening, he can give out a lot of extra protection, and also HP, of course. And also on his special, this is an AoE, so if you're hitting 5 people, that is going to be a lot and lots of TM. And I mean, not TM, a lot of protection HP. So this one here alone is why I would say he should be one that a lot of people should be getting up. Gear 12, if you want to push him Gear 13 like me, go for it. But this guy I feel like is just super, super great. I mean, the other reason why I feel like this guy's so great is because not only if Han's there, he's going to give guard to Han, but he gives out guard to the other weakest ally. So this can bring some interesting teams that you want to use on offense or defense, whichever way you want to go about it. Tossing in somebody, I would say, for example, maybe a Thrawn, maybe you want to protect your Thrawn so we can always get those fractures, those TM swaps out. And then you can keep on swapping turns, back and forth, so you can't get dazed, you can't get stunned, stuff like that. And by the way, if you didn't know, guard, you can't be critically hit, you are immune to stun and dazes, so it's great stuff there. So, I mean, the guard here, and being able to recover HP and protection with the guard, is why I feel like this guy is so versatile, not just in the Rebels, but also outside of the Rebels. Very, very good guy here, Chewbacca, my man. So, I think that's going to do it for my list today, guys. Like I said, none of these are in any apparent order, just some of my favorite 10 people I would really recommend and push out for you guys to get, if you guys haven't already. And maybe you guys think differently than I do. And also, this video was not about Year 13s, Zetas, none of that stuff, just pure basic bare bones stuff I feel like you guys should get for GACs if you want to kind of up your game and make sure you guys can get better holds, more banners and whatnot. So that's going to do it for me today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give it a like, share it around, and also, if you are new here to the channel, feel free to sub. It's going to help out a lot, because at 8K subs, we'll do another Hyperdrive bundle giveaway. It's going to be a lot of fun. So be able to do that, share it around, and stuff like that. And also, last thing here, if you guys want to help support me, there's a couple ways to do it. I'm not saying you have to, but if you could, that'd be super awesome. We have a Patreon. We also have channel memberships. Great ways to support me to help continue and fund the content you guys are watching now. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna hop off today. Hopefully this video was helpful to you, and until next time, I will see you all later, guys. Peace out, and I love you.